Hello everybody. Welcome Mr. Simon Bates.
Thank you.
On clarinet, and we're very happy to have Simon here to talk about the wonderful Yamaha YCL-255 student clarinet, but it's kind of not quite that. We're going to talk about that. There's very tasteful entrance music there, Simon.
Yeah, well, I guess this clarinet wants me to be a bit more tasteful and refined than...
Little did you know, everyone who watches the channel, he can do it. No. So the Yamaha student clarinet is at the premium end of the beginner clarinets, and what I mean by that is it's the most expensive, but it's extremely good quality, and we're going to talk about that both in terms of sound and build. So Simon will give it a good blow in a second so you guys can all hear how it sounds in his hands. Then I'll give you a little bit of the tech in the workshop, and we'll jump back and we'll talk to you, Simon, about how you feel it plays, because you've played a number of these over the years that they've been out. But do you want to give us a good blow first, see how it sounds? Well, it certainly sounds fantastic in Simon's hands, as it always does, but the Yamaha 255 clarinet is a fantastic beginner instrument. It's easy to play, and the reason why is the care and attention that goes in from Yamaha in the manufacturing. Now, I'm going to just talk about a couple of the technical things which are on this latest model, and they start down here on the bell. Yamaha have replaced the bell in this latest variant, and it is now even lighter because they've taken off the metal ring. However, it's still protective at the end. There's a barrier to stop it being damaged, but by removing the metal, they have made the whole bell lighter, and obviously that helps with the overall weight of the instrument and the balance as well. There's also something inside the bell, which is actually quite difficult to show you, but we're going to do our best to give you a shot of that. And what I'm going to talk about here is that inside the bell here, there's a little scalloped shape, or a little cutout basically, and it's just a little curve inside. Now, some manufacturers do that on different models. Some have a sort of square shape inside, some have the curve. And the reason that is there is to help the lower register notes, the E and the F on the bottom register, help those notes speak more freely. Otherwise, there can be a bit of a change in the tonal quality that can feel a bit stuffy, especially on that low E, if there's no cutout in the bell. So that's something that actually a design feature that came from Yamaha's professional clarinets, and they've put that down on the student instrument to improve that for beginner players as well. So just a neat little feature that you wouldn't necessarily know was there. In general terms, the Yamaha is really, really well put together, and what we mean by that is it's reliable, it's consistent, there's no wear in the keywork, the padding is really good, the springs are excellent. So long term, when we sell these and we rent these for many years, we see that over 5, 10, 15 years, these student instruments can stand up to fairly heavy use and still be in good working order. Now, that's the instrument itself. Let's have a look at the outfit. It is a little bigger than some student cases, and I would say there's a good side of that. You can get more in it. The bad side is obviously it is a bit bulkier and it's a bit heavier. There is a proper pocket though on the outside where you could get a music book, which is quite neat, and obviously any spare bits and bobs. And then inside, I'll just turn that round for you. There's quite a lot of space here on the front for accessories. You could get reeds and whatnot in there, and also another little spot here. Whilst we're talking about accessories, I would like to point out that the Yamaha comes with the 4C mouthpiece, which is by far the best student clarinet mouthpiece on the market. It's very, very easy to play, and it's one of the reasons why that combination of mouthpiece and Yamaha 255 clarinet make for a really perfect place to start. That's my opinion anyway. Let's jump back to Simon and see what he thinks about how it plays. Cool, so first things first, how do you feel it plays from a tonal point of view, and then maybe from a comfort point of view?
Tonal, it's fairly mellow, but I mean that's what you want a clarinet to sound like, I guess.
It's got warmth,
It's got a warmth. It's got a very refined sound, I think. Yeah, I mean overall the dynamic range is good as well. Perhaps a clarinet for 3-4 times the price will give you a little more power, but
that's why it's 3-4 times the price.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And under the fingers?
Under the fingers, normal Yamaha Comfort sort of pretty much feels like my SE. Not a lot of difference. The key position is very, very comfortable, very normal, very. I mean, to be honest, it looks the same. As the layout on my SE. So yeah, happy with that.
So Yamaha do bring some of those features down from professional down to student, and that can also come to the layout of the keywork as well. And especially with clarinet, unlike sax where there can be quite big variances, with clarinet, once you get that kind of right, you can bring that down the line and it should feel comfortable. So we talked about this as a sort of a premium beginner's instrument. So there's a couple of things I want to touch on. If you were a parent, because you've done plenty of teaching to adults primarily, but maybe some kids along the way. If you're a parent and you're looking at buying a clarinet, a student clarinet, why do you think, I'm asking you, why is it worth spending the money that the Yamaha costs?
Well, I mean, it's going to work. I mean, that's kind of the basic thing. But also, I mean, if you do want to upgrade somewhere along the line, this is going to hold its value far more than any other instrument you're going to be able to get. It's not a cheap knockoff from Amazon. It's a quality, proper musical instrument.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of pedigree of Yamaha really does shine through. In their cheapest instruments, and particularly this clarinet, it's really, really nice for the price. But also, it's a good instrument that you would feel happy as a pro to play. I would have thought. Yeah.
Yes, it could be a second instrument, a doubler's instrument.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the upgrade. Actually, the other thing you can do if you're going through the grades, or if you've got a child going through the grades, if you add a good quality professional mouthpiece like Simon's got, it does come with a really good 4C student mouthpiece, and there's the adjustable thumb rest. So there's all the gear that you would want on a student clarinet, and that mouthpiece is really good. But if you've done a few years and you want to upgrade it further, you put a decent Van Doren or whatever mouthpiece on, that can go again for another few years and add you a bit more quality, and it's good enough to have that extra longevity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is the Yamaha 255. Do check out all of our videos on our YouTube channel. We've even got playlists where you can check out lots of different clarinets, so comparing buffets, Yamahas, all sorts of things, and you can hear Simon blowing away on all manner of instruments as well. So do stay subscribed for that. But Simon, if there's nothing else we need to add, could I ask you to play us out with something delightful?
Of course, delightful.
Yeah.